Next, we're moving on to our Go Review segment. Gabe, you want to explain what Go Review is and what you tasked me to review for this episode?
Yeah, Go Review is our segment where we go and review something. And it's not just something we want to do. We actually task the other person. So, I think last week Stetson said, the previous episode before the last episode, Stetson had asked me to review streaming services. So in our last episode, I talked about which streaming services were the best. I compared Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, all the different ones. You can go back and listen to that if you want to. And then after I was done, I said, you know what, Stetson, I did this huge showdown comparison of different digital services. I want you to compare web browsers, because I know personally I've been using Google Chrome for like the past 8 years since I downloaded it for the first time and just haven't looked back since. And I know there's new ones out there. There's Brave. We talked about Microsoft's Edge. Safari's around. Or what else is there? I don't really know. So, Stetson, what have you done for us? What do you got for our Go Review?
Gabe, thank you for that intro. And this is actually the first Go Review we are filming live. So there'll be a separate
Go Review video version.
Yeah, you can check it out. So you can actually see some visuals to complement the audio format. Of course, this will be designed to be enjoyed in an audio experience. But basically, what it comes down to is Chrome has been, I want to say, the gold standard for quite a few years now. And what made it so great is it replaced Internet Explorer 6. It was faster. It was it was a better browsing experience. And what Google did is they made it so that each tab was its own instance of Chrome. This made it so if one website crashed, the whole browser didn't go down. You could actually keep browsing, close that one bad tab, and it helps make a great experience. However, Google is known and notorious for their tracking, for their advertisements that follow you around the internet with some spooky accuracy. So I did some research. I took a look at all of the latest browsers available today, and we have Google Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Brave, and Oprah. So that's a lot of browsers.
Yeah, was that 6 or 5? I think that's 6.
6 different browsers.
Wow.
So I'm gonna quickly summarize each, and then ultimately help you decide which browser you should be using. So first of all, Gabe, what do you look for in a browser?
I usually look for it has to look nice. Honestly, that's probably the biggest thing for me. I like something that's good UI, clean. I do also like a little customization. The ability to put in my Dashlane plugin so I can get my passwords filled. And like the Rakuten coupon filler or different things like that I might want. And then I guess also it has to be pretty fast. I don't want something that's takes forever to load or
exactly.
Noticeably slower.
That's kind of how I feel. So Google Chrome on the onset, it's a super fast browser. It's basically, as I mentioned, the gold standard. However, it consumes all of your computer's power. Each tab you have open is its own instance of Chrome, and that consumes a lot of memory, and it basically depletes your battery. So Chrome works well, and it also tracks you. You're tracked wherever you go on the internet, and that's definitely one of the downsides to using Chrome. So why look elsewhere? You want something with better battery, more privacy, potentially ad blocking, and similar, if not better, performance. So that kind of brings us to Safari. This is the default browser on Mac, and also their mobile devices if you have an iPad or iPhone.
Can you get it on Microsoft?
You used to be able to get it on Windows, but they are no longer offering it.
Ooh.
So it's another,
Snap.
I guess, bonus to get a Mac product or an Apple product. And I guess my summary with Safari is it's the default browser. It's fast. It's super secure. Apple does have a strong focus on privacy. You can block cross site traffic and ad tracking and all that stuff. And yeah, it's super fast. It works really well. And if you're signed into your iCloud account, your bookmarks will sync between devices. So already it's hitting pretty much all the boxes you want. But unfortunately, like you mentioned, Gabe, it's not available on Android or on PC. So that
and there's also not a lot of plugins either.
Yeah, there's few plugins. It doesn't really work quite as well. It's kind of a really good baseline, fast, vanilla web browsing experience. If you're looking for something a little bit different, Firefox, they have their own browser, and it's nice, but I noticed some pages didn't actually work properly for my testing. And the other thing, this is weird, Firefox produces a more saturated web page image than all the other browsers. Isn't that weird?
That is strange. That's stranger than it not working with some pages, because I do know that when people are creating websites, they code them for certain web browsers read them differently, and some might not just code their website for Firefox because it has a smaller percentage of users, right? They'll go Safari, Chrome, Edge, or whatever, and Firefox will be like, whatever.
So it broke my website, so I guess I need to fix that.
Yeah, you got to figure that out. But that saturation thing is really odd.
Yeah, it's just so weird. I was actually perplexed by it. I put up side by side, and I was like, yeah, no doubt, it's more saturated. It's a great browser for sure. They do have a built-in VPN, which is kind of cool. You can sign into your Firefox account and sync your bookmarks and history across your devices. And overall, I'd say it's good. It works. They have the extensions you're looking for, and it's definitely a great option. But it's not my
cross-device compatible for sure.
Yeah, so you also have it on your iPhone or iPad as well. But it's not my top pick.
Okay.
All right, so next I tried Microsoft Edge. I went into this super sketchy, right? I didn't think Microsoft Edge would be what I wanted, but it actually worked really, really well. Because, get this, Gabe, Microsoft Edge is built off of Chrome.
Yeah, this is the little plot twist in the whole thing, I think.
Yeah, so it turns out basically all of the browsers that I'm going to talk about next, we have Microsoft Edge, we have Brave, and we have Oprah. They're all built on Chrome. So Chrome's open source tool is called Chromium, and all those browsers are basically just skins on top of it. So Microsoft Edge, it worked super well. It was super fast. I loved it. You can sign into your Microsoft account to sync everything. You have a reading list. So if you're on the Pinch to Zoom podcast website, you can click a little button and add it to a reading list like you can on Safari. And it kind of helps you organize news and articles that you want to collect. And yeah, it's a great, super fast. I was very impressed with the speed and performance of Edge. So I would give that
it looks pretty nice too, right out of the box.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. It's so similar to Chrome that it's easy to migrate to.
Yeah.
Finally, we have Brave. This is interesting because, again, it's basically your standard web browser, but they have built-in ad blocking and cookie tracking. So again, helps with the privacy. And most interesting is you get rewarded. So you actually get Brave rewards, where you get paid in a cryptocurrency called BAT for viewing ads that typically appear on your new tab page or other places on the internet. So,
and the other thing built into that is that you can also add money to your account there through Uphold, I think is the wallet service they use.
Yep.
And you can then set the browser to tip your favorite creators, right? Because the browser blocks ads. But then when you say, for example, if they visit your YouTube channel, they can set it to tip you a certain amount, based on how much percentage they spend on your page, or based on how much they've, if they really like you, they can go, let's give them 20 bats, the basic attention token. And it's an interesting take. I don't know, it doesn't get a lot of people that actually engage in that. I heard a stat that I think 73% or something like that of all the users that they added never actually used the wallet and the crypto part of it, but it's an interesting thing there if you're looking for something different.
The idea. It reminds me of YouTube Red, where based on which creator you watch more, it kind of disperses your attention. And in this case, Brave is using the attention tokens. My problem, you can't sync it with your mobile device.
Are you sure? Because I heard you can do that.
No, it's broken. I checked their site today.
Okay.
Yeah. And as of the current version, I think it's 1.3, they had to disable that feature. So your bookmarks and everything currently cannot sync over. But otherwise, it's great. You actually earn money by browsing the web and seeing ads.
Yeah, I earned, the most I earned was 21 BAT, which I think is about 19, 20 cents a piece. So that's like $2.20 or something. I don't know. It's not that much, but
hey, it helps out, right? Yeah, better than nothing. And the one thing I will say with all of these browsers is if they have blocking, that may actually disable features on certain pages. For example, our podcast page, if you have the shields up, you will not be able to load our podcast player. But if you disable shields on the site, all of a sudden you can see our podcasts and everything works properly. So just something to keep in mind. And lastly, there's Oprah. This was an interesting browser because they had kind of a side panel where you can have Facebook Messenger or Instagram just pulled up ready to go on the side. Made it really good for social media and consuming things. But overall, the quirkiness of this browser in terms of they put the close tab button in a different spot. It didn't feel quite as nice to me. And the social media was just a big distraction. So
little bit trying to be different for the sake of being different.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt. Some people may love it. That's just me. And they do have kind of a workspace idea where you can basically have multiple windows combined into one window, and you switch between them using a sidebar. So yeah, I mean,
that sounds interesting though.
Those are the browsers, and for me, surprisingly enough, I like Microsoft Edge, and I will continue to be using that one along with Brave.
Wow.
And
still, still, you're basically using Chrome though.
Yeah, basically using Chrome. And the one thing I will plug for Microsoft is they have a slider where you can choose how advanced you want your ad tracking to be, whether it's basic, balanced, or strict. And so that's basically the Go
cool.
review. And one thing before we get out of here, you can't forget the mobile apps. Of course, all of these are available on all your favorite mobile devices. But the big catch, except for Safari, but here's the big catch. On iPhone and iPad, all the browsers are actually just skinned versions of Safari. They're all using the same. Yeah, they're all using the same WebKit framework.
Oh, so they use the built-in WebKit API or whatever. Yep.
So there you go. So there is no real difference. It's
okay,
just
that gives me no hope whatsoever.
It's just design preference.
Yeah.
But there you go. That is my Go review of the browsers. Gabe, what browser are you using, and what will you continue to be using?
I really mainly use Chrome on my desktop, and then on mobile, I guess Safari usually, though I've been switching to more Brave because I don't want to get as much tracking and stuff, and I do like earning some money off the ads. So I might give the Microsoft Edge a try. You made it sound pretty good. I do have it on my phone, and I've used it a couple times, so it is pretty nice. I'll give him that, and it's nice and sleek, so potentially that. I don't know. Have you made a major switch, or are you kind of sticking with what you knew?
So I'm basically bouncing between Brave to earn the attention tokens and Microsoft Edge, just because of honestly how fast it loads. Like I really do feel like I noticed that difference, and I like the news collection lists because I feel like I read a lot of news articles and I want to save them, but I don't really have a good solution to that. And
I do like Safari's reading list. I know that.
Yeah, I mean I don't check that. That's my problem. So
oh, true.
So there you go. And naturally, we assign each other a new item. So Gabe, for next episode, I'm asking you to go out and review the Mavic Air 2 that just came out. Or of course, we have our good old standby Google Stadia if you want to take a shot at reviewing
Google
that.
Stadia. Well, I already have the Mavic Air 2. I probably should order a new one though, just for this review. Buy a second one because I can't use the same one that I already bought, of course.
Right.
But yeah. We'll get to that in our next episode. You'll find out which one I review. And yeah, I can't wait to go test it out. Thank you very much for your review, Stetson. That was very helpful for me. I know I'd been putting off looking into which web browser I should use for a long time. So now you made that work really easy for me. And hopefully you made it easy for our viewers as well.